Hey there, my name is Taylor. I'm a Cat 4 racer, and this is a recap of a recent crit that I was in. If you watched last week's video, we're back to the normal direction this week, and as you can see from the overlay, it is hot out. I don't think it was actually 111 degrees. That's what my Garmin thought as it was just baking in the sun as we were waiting for this race to start, but it was hot and windy coming out of the south. So here at the beginning, this is Lizzie off the front, and then that's my brother in front of me taking the lead right now, my brother Rusty. And I didn't expect him to go this quick at the start, but I thought I'd try to grab onto his wheel and see where he goes. Normally he tail guns, so this was very unexpected, but I thought, okay, I can usually keep up with my brother, especially if I'm in the draft, so I'm gonna stay in the draft as long as I can and see where he goes. And you can see pretty much the entire field behind us doing the same thing. I'm not sure why everyone else was just sitting in. Maybe they thought, okay, this is a weird way to start the race. Let's see where he goes. But yeah, while we're going around on the first lap, I did something new this week with the overlay. So I always do like this lap display on the top left, and I normally have a little indicator for where I am on the course. But this week I also added indicators for many other riders. Not everybody, but everybody that I could find on Strava and get exported and then throw into my overlay software, and they show up on here as kind of this green, blue, teal dot. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a little less interesting than I had hoped, because for most of this race, the pack is together, so it's just this big clump of these dots rather than, some interesting dynamics going on. But there are a few moments where it's cool, so I'll point those out. But it was a fair amount of work, and I don't think I'll repeat it for future rides, but I thought it was an interesting experiment into different visualizations for bike races, at least for the overlay part, because I figured I'm not the fastest guy out here and I don't have the most experience to be providing really good commentary about the dynamics of these races. So what can I do that's a little different and have the software and the know-how for doing this kind of thing? So I figured I'd make an interesting overlay. So hope you like that, but don't keep an eye out for it on future rides because it's a lot of work to line up. So here we are coming into the end of the first lap, and this is where the peloton decides, we're not going to sit behind Rusty anymore. That's AJ going off the front there. He was the series leader at this point, and he actually catted up as a result of this race. So this is the last race that we rode with him. But you can see the whole group is going around us. For some reason I chose to stay behind my brother rather than kind of veer over to the side and latch on to the overall group. But it ends up not mattering too much because we all kind of get mixed together anyway. And you can see a little bit of a split off the front there as we turn into the wind. But for the most part, everybody's still together, even if it's strung out a little bit, as you can see on the mini-map on the side. And I actually start to get dropped here, so I'm going just about as fast as I can, and I'm not keeping up with the group. Unfortunately, this week my power meter wasn't working, so there's no power display down at the bottom. I'm not sure what happened. The batteries were charged. Everything should have worked, but it just didn't. And eventually I catch back up to the group here, and we just keep going around for this lap. It stays a little bit strung out like this. It's not all packed together, but everybody hangs on. There's nobody getting dropped at this point, I don't think. So there's Rusty doing an attack off the front. AJ, you can see him there make a little motion. He's like, yeah, whatever, let those two guys go. I'm not sure who went with my brother there, but I find myself kind of in no man's land here because I was trying to hold on to Rusty's wheel. I saw that he was starting to make a move, and I thought, well, I don't want to go with him. He's arguably my teammate, or actually, we're not really a team, but we always ride together. So then I thought, okay, well, this is kind of an opportunity for me to do some team tactics, so I can sit at the front of the group here and not try too hard and just slow the group down if people are willing to sit behind me. And then this guy goes in front of me, so I think, okay, I'll at least hang on to his wheel so that if he tries to bridge up to my brother, I'll be with him. But otherwise, I'm just going to go. Yeah, you can see there, he's like, take a pull, man, go ahead. And I'm like, well, that's my brother up in the break. I'm not going to work to chase him down. And AJ actually behind me says the same thing, because I think one of AJ's teammates was in the break. So both of us are like, no, man, we're not. You can pull. You're good. We're not doing any pulling here. So at this point, a lot of the group had got away from me, and I was struggling, not able to keep up. You can see I'm, I don't know, 50 yards behind at this point, and this isn't looking good for me because we're about to turn into the wind, and I don't actually remember what I do here, but like this is a bad situation to be in because it's super easy for the people in and at the back of this pack to just sit in the draft and not work super hard. But for me, I'm having to work hard to try to close this down against the wind so that I can, you know, A, stay in the mix of things, but also B, not work super hard. Because I bet the people in front of me are doing, you know, 50 to 100 fewer watts than I am. And I'm closing on them, so, you know, I guess that's good. They're not working hard enough to drop me, but like this is not good. I wish I were closer to the person in front of me. Also, you may have noticed that out in front, my brother, you can barely see him there on the left, he's been caught. So like the breakaway didn't make it. The group caught those two off the front, and they're just in the mix now, in the pack. And it looks like I didn't actually close things down here. I'm still that several yards behind and getting further. So this may be the end of the race for me, actually, but everyone's riding away there. It's almost single file, which, you know, makes me feel a little better about being dropped because that means it's moving fast. It's not all bunched up. But yeah, not looking good for me right now. I think this is Nagi in my rear view right now, just coming around me. And I'm not sure what he was doing here. He said something to me, but I didn't hear what he said. And I had just passed him, and then he like sped up, and I thought he was trying to catch on my wheel so we could take pulls together, but then he goes in front of me, so I'm thinking maybe he's trying to like tow me onto the group, but the group is so far in front of us, like there's no way I'm going to catch him. So I don't know what he was doing. At this point I was resigned to, I'm just going to be solo time trialing this, so I don't know. Thanks, Nagi, for whatever it was you were doing there, but I'm not sure what it was. So not much else happened for me for most of this race. This is my final lap, and I've faded out the rear camera there because my camera actually died because it was too hot. It overheated, and the peloton is going around me. So those are the two guys off the front, and then here's everybody else coming around me. And so this is one point where the overlay on the top left is kind of neat. You can see the little dots, you know, gain on me and then go around me. But of course you can see the riders just go around me in the video. So what value are the dots adding? But at any rate, this is my last lap of the race. I got lapped there, so one lap down for me. But yeah, just I've been cruising in a solo time trial for, what, 7 laps, and I'm not going fast enough to be able to grab onto any of these guys' wheels, and there's nobody else around me, so the last lap is also going to be solo time trial while I watch the whole group go by me at a very quick. This is Nathan over here in the red. He did a great job this week hanging on to the pack. I think he just fell off right when the pack went around me, so he's a lap ahead of me right here, but he and I often finish together. He just did way better than me in this race, so kudos to him. That's great. And yeah, it's always nice to see, you know, a familiar face out here on the racetrack. Here's the end of the race for me. I don't remember. Let's see if I do like a sprint. I'm totally gassed at this point, so any sprint will be nominal at best, but it looks like no, just gonna roll across the finish line. And yeah, it was a hot day for a race. Too much for me, and I'm getting in too bad of a shape, but still had fun, had a good time, and didn't crash, so that's all good. Next week I hope to not lap and not get crashed. That's the dream. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the visualization and the commentary, so hope to see you again next week. Bye.